Welcome, heroes. Welcome to Unsung Heroes. Yeah, get it around the room. Get that applause around the room. My name is Mike Mercadal. Thank you for coming to Zeros on Heroes, Unsung Heroes, live at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens. My name is Mike Mercadal. I'm the host of an in-studio podcast called Zeros on Heroes, where we interview people about their heroes. But this is Unsung Heroes, where you guys get to be the heroes. That's right. We're doing It's SPOCKTOBER, everybody. SPOCKTOBER. The reason why I selected Star Trek for this one was because last week I was at New York Comic Con and I got to interview everybody from the fucking cast of Star Trek Discovery. And that will be next week's Zeros on Heroes episode. We're back, baby. We're back. And also, that show is really good. If anybody's not watching it, it's because you don't have CBS All Access or some bullshit like streaming service. But the show's great. I got to meet everybody, and I watched the panel, and it's hard loving something that like two people know about. But then there was like a whole room, like giant Madison Square Garden amphitheater full of fucking people that are there for the show, and then I was like, where are you? Why don't anybody I know watch the show? But we're talking about Star Trek, so we're gonna discuss which Star Trek is your Star Trek. Because some people like the next gen, some people like the original, some people are Deep Space Nine people. We accept them regardless. There's your favorite piece of Trek tech. So if there's one thing from Star Trek that you know that you've seen on the show that you want, we want to talk about it. And then also space and science and shit like that. They're going to Mars. I don't know if there was like a huge accident in launching a Russian space shuttle today, or the space the Soyuz rocket took off. Because fuck Russia. That's right, USA. No, but it's just funny. There's a bunch of space stuff going on, and the world is ending. We need to get off this planet. So, woo. Okay. I personally. You know the Star Trek they don't talk about? Enterprise with Scott Bakula. Does anyone remember that shit? The Bakula gets no love in the Star Trek universe. Or you can talk about the movies if you want. If you're one of the movie people. Fuck it. Let's... what do you say we get our first hero up on stage? Fuck the bucket. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up to the stage, give it up for your friend and ours, Eric and Evia. What's up, bud? That's totally that's the wrong thing.
Is it? I figured I ruined, last week I ruined the song, so I might as well
you were way off last time.
Exactly, I might as well just start there.
What, Eric, welcome to the show. What is your favorite, what is your Star Trek?
I'm a Next Generation dude.
You're a Picard man.
Yes, definitely. Grew up watching him, and that's probably I plowed through the entire thing on Netflix in about a month.
Oh, you watched?
It's like 180 episodes or whatever.
Did it hold up?
Yes, Mike.
It did?
What was that?
Did it hold up? I mean,
oh, hell yeah.
There's a lot of it's very 90s. Like when you watch it.
Reference-wise, yeah, but then it's one of those things kind of like X-Men that you can always find something, that nugget of info that what they were really trying to talk about, and take the language of the time out. And it still
there
resonates.
Was definitely it started off in the 60s with as a huge deal where they had Sulu, an Asian person, and then they had Uhura, who was a black person who's technically third in command. If you look at the hierarchy of it, she was the first interracial kiss. I was just
going to say
they
really tried to save. Every time they tried to save the Enterprise, it was so she wouldn't get a bump up.
Oh, is that what he was? Yeah. Good Lord.
That's what it seems like.
It did, the show was a big deal, and then it came back with Next Generation, and it was Whoopi Goldberg was in it.
Oh yeah, she was the greatest bartender in life.
She was the bartender, right? Like she was like the
just
everyone
spitting
would go-
knowledge.
Yeah, but wasn't she like a alien race of some kind?
She was like an empath of sorts or something like that. She can.
Right, and she could like sense people's feeling. I don't know, but she or something like that. She couldn't like stop it. She had to feel it.
She just reminded me of like my grandmother.
She was a very kindly,
She tell you the truth as quietly as possible with a little like tate quieto in there at the same time.
Okay.
You know?
What was your favorite crew member?
Jordy LaForge. It was always a classics thing. It was always a classic. It's like Cyclops was my favorite. It's something about growing up with glasses that kind of like makes you.
You just identify people with glasses.
Yeah, it made it easy for me.
What was that? Wait, so like you just were like, I like that guy.
Yeah, if you had glasses and you want TV,
well, everybody did that. You put like those banana clips on your eyes. You know what I'm talking about? Those clips that.
The ones with
the teeth. You remember the one that had the teeth that they would do that stuff, and it's called a banana. Is that wrong? For your hair,
I guess.
They revealed.
I didn't go that far.
They revealed later on that that's literally what they used when they made.
No way.
That they were like, yeah, we'll just like make it look like that.
Oh man, I love hearing stories like that. I watched Tested for shit like that.
What's Tested?
It's a show on YouTube with the guys that made
Mythbusters. Is it Adam Savage?
Yeah,
okay,
Adam Savage.
That's his thing.
Yeah. Like his show's dope. He opens up the world on that. So because it's Spocktober, then it's like no mind melding this month.
Oh, the mind you want to do?
You know, it's like sober October, no drinking. You know, Spocktober, no mind melding.
I didn't think it through that far, but sure, yeah, all right.
It's my job.
Sober? Are you sober Octobering or no?
No, I got a beer right next to me right now.
Did you, when you watch a show, was there a piece of tech, like some sort of gadget or gizmo that you wanted from Star Trek?
Yeah, if you're not asking for a holodeck, then you're not asking for anything.
That I feel like that's like the ultimate, like what direction we're headed with like virtual reality or anything.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, and what would you use it for?
Anything.
Come on, man!
Everything.
Content for the show. Like, we got to talk
anything
about
and
something.
everything. It's a holodeck. Like picture it. What do we sell as a walk-in closet nowadays? If we had the tech to just kind of just walk in and that'll be your holodeck, then you can like literally just wake up in the morning, start to get dressed, and never really go to work.
I didn't enjoy when they went to the holodeck and then they were like in the Wild West all of a sudden.
No.
Or they were like detectives in like Victorian England or something like that.
The detective one is the one where they got caught in there, right? They couldn't get out.
There was always some
Moriarty or whatever.
Yeah, there was always like something that kept them in the holodeck, or like if they. There was some Data, of course. Brett Spiner, that was a great character. What was the those episodes to me always when it was in like on after school, you know, like when you watch the repeats or whatever like that, and it was always one where you saw them in like a period costume. I was like, oh man, I wanted to see space.
That was probably like they were ecstatic for those episodes because they had to get out of those suits at some point. Like that's where my brain goes with that.
Yeah,
it's like if you wore those stiff red, yellow, and or teal blue, aqua blue suits the entire time. Every now and then you'd want a top hat.
Which is funny to me because when I was in New York Comic Con this weekend, I saw a ton of people like choosing to dress in those polyester uniforms. Like they were just walking around with the constant. Yes, they were constantly pulling the shirt down to snap it down, make it smooth.
I just wanted to see a belly button just once.
Oh man, do you remember Deanna Troi? Like I had a whole thing for Deanna Troi.
She was the Topanga of. Definitely, bro.
There was a whole thing. She does like talks now, you know, because like that kind of Star Trek kind of started the whole con thing, like conventions of like Trekkies. And
okay, so yeah, Trekkers and Trekkies. What is the official difference? Because it's like one of them still thinks that they're on this planet, the other one left a long time ago.
I think
that's my understanding.
Trekkies are the ones that they don't refer to themselves as that because that's like that's like the bad word for them.
Really?
That's like the N word.
That's the T word?
That's the T word.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess. I know Trekker. There was a couple documentaries about that stuff that came out about these people. Because there were people that would go up to like William Shatner and be like, in episode 16 of this season and blah, 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 did you... Yeah, exactly. Like if you try, like why was this happening, and then when you press this button, it did this for the first time, and people were really fucking paying attention.
It gets a little much sometimes. No,
I would imagine that it is for them, but also like back in the 60s, if you were like on the spectrum and you picked up on Star Trek, there was
that deep.
well, there was no help for you. You would just land on Star Trek and you're like, this is my thing now.
It's a triple Lutz straight in, no splash.
Yeah, you would just load it
For life.
What? So you're gifted the opportunity to go travel on knowing you can't come back,
Okay.
and you go and you're on a diplomatic mission into space.
I'm not like the.
Ask your questions. I'll qualify it.
I'm not the dude. I'm not like the first dude off the ship with the red shirt, right?
No,
Because that dude always goes. You know
that dude
right?
always gets murdered straight up.
All right.
He's expendable crew.
Do I have like a job? What do I do on the ship?
Would you want to be engineering like Geordie LaForge? Would you want to be?
Nah, there's so much death in that engineering room. It blows up like every episode.
There's always a radiation leak. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna avoid that. I'll be like a medic or something because they always.
Oh yeah, they always had a doctor.
Yeah, and then anything that ever happens, it's like one quick like nuke.
That is the ultimate like solution. Like, oh, he's been shot, and they shoot him in the neck, and then
You
he's
know how
fine.
much medicine that little thing holds?
Yeah,
It's like the cure for fucking everything.
And also, I always wanted the like now that I'm older. Well, you know, like I was a paramedic for a long time. I always wanted the tricorder. You know, the medical
the
thing
scan-
where you're just like, yeah, and you're like, yeah, your appendix is about to blow or whatever.
How do you think you read that thing?
Huh?
Why are there no pictures on it?
What do you mean?
It's all bars and dots and shit. I would think it to have pictures if they
We
really
need that
thought
guy
it.
asking about episode 16 or whatever they have.
Adam Suzanne's not here right now.
We need the schematics.
So we got to figure out all this hard shit by ourselves.
I know. Would you be okay? So let's say you're sent. Like they just okay. We're gonna drop you on this planet. and you got to colonize it.
Okay.
Because I did. Oh, this is gonna be another episode of Zeros on Heroes. I got to talk to the people that are putting out this movie called Prospect. It's a really cool indie movie about like literally like plopping down and mining an alien planet that's like poisonous. So everybody's in suits. It's got Pedro Pascal in it. It's a real
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, someone
Okay.
oohed in the audio.
We got a woohoo.
But they're basically like they pitch it as a job, like fishermen, like those crab fishermen, like be out here for
longshoremen and shit. Like
for
you
a
go
certain
out
amount
there
of
for a
time,
while.
and then you make a ton of money, and then you get to come back or whatever if you live.
Yeah.
But you're sent out. Would you do it? Would you want for the spirit of exploration?
Fuck exploration just to get off this planet. This place is not doing too well. So like anything to get off. If you get like a free pass to get off, you can
Yeah.
feel like you just won a trip on the Titanic playing poker.
You
And
wanna-
hopefully you don't fall in love and she leaves you on a raft somewhere.
Is that what happens? I haven't seen
You know what I'm
Titanic in a
talking
while.
about. Like that's how he got his trip.
He
Like,
won a
he won
trip
it in a
on.
poker game or something and just jumped on. With his
And
homie.
would you go? So what job did you? You want to be a medic?
All right, I'm being medic. So classic Star Trek. We'll be hiding in a bunker somewhere, just studying.
Right.
The colony. Like it'll be masked off before they find it because somebody threw a rock at the.
What are you
hologram.
talking about? Wait, what are you saying?
Like in the original Star Treks, when they were like scouting, I guess, like
Sure.
another planet. Like they were always kind of like watching first, and then something would happen where someone would throw a rock at that cliffside, and then the hologram would kind of quonk out, and they'd see people like watching. Or I might be getting my stories wrong, but that's what I
I'm
remember.
not sure, but that had to have happened. Like
It seems
at a
legit.
They had to have run out of like ideas at a certain point where they're just like,
Or
yeah,
I just came up with some.
yeah.
Either one.
But you want to go explore and you'd be up for it. Okay.
Oh no, yeah, no problem. Colonizing, legit. Like, would I have to be donating, like, in order to?
Your seed will now be the new foundation of
Oh,
a human
yeah, that
race.
answers itself. Yeah,
Yeah.
that answers itself.
A bunch
That's
of
a quick
little
one.
Eric Heredias walking around.
I'll figure the rest out later.
Eric, is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
Nah, just Unsung Heroes, Creek in the Cave. Enjoy, you guys.
Creek in the Cave in
Yeah.
Long Island City, Queens. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Eric Heredia. Coming up next, we're going you, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Daniel J. Parafan. What's up, buddy?
I didn't remember this was so like game showy sounding.
It's all the 60s stuff sounds like
Wait,
that.
do I have to move into that chair after I'm done here, or
Yes.
what?
Right.
That's how it works,
All
baby.
right, that's fun. Where's my guild?
He hasn't done this in 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
There's a story.
what?
Yeah. There's a longer story that I will not record.
No, we have to talk about it. I didn't know that.
No, let's talk about Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, okay. So remember that episode of Star Trek where Mike Gill was banned from the creek in the cave?
Yeah. Who knew it was him? It was
The red
Will.
shirt. It was the red shirt.
It was the red shirt. Yeah. It was Will Wheaton, and then Mike Guild was Will Wheaton's friend, and then they were hanging out on the. Whatever, man. What do you want? What do you want me to say? I don't want to talk
I'm
about it.
so curious now.
We can talk about it after, but I can't talk
All right,
about it.
fine. Fair enough.
What?
You can edit this out, beginning part out, by the way.
Sure.
I don't know. What about Star Trek? Are we talking about Star Trek only?
Or well, let's start with Star Trek. Did you watch it?
Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, I did watch it. I've always been a fan of Star Trek, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, the whole nine. I only like the original episodes though. I don't really like the remakes. The only thing Deep Space Nine was okay,
Yeah.
but the original episode of Star Trek because it was campy. There's something about camp I've always liked. I watched fucking Burlesque in theaters with Cher and Lady Gaga.
That movie? Yeah.
And fucking not Lady Gaga. What's her face? Fucking Christina Aguilera. I love that because it was so bad. It was good.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had forgotten that existed. I had forgotten
It was
that
such
was a
a
real
bad
thing.
movie that you're like, oh, this is a great movie.
So you like it when certain like that
I
bad
love
good,
look when there's no. Here's the thing. I love camp.
right? Tongue in cheek stuff.
Like I love shit that you're like, you know, it's terrible, and even the people making it. Because my boy John Field,
Yeah.
he's he's like a movie person. He studied film, and he knows like he's been on set. There's a group of people. There's 50 people who make a movie that know, oh shit, this is a bad movie.
Do you?
While they're making it, they know it's a bad movie, but they're doing their job the whole time. You don't think about that part of it.
That's their job. But honestly, like there's people who shoot on stuff all the time because I'm on set for doing background work and whenever I get extra work or whatever, and you see these people on. They know they just hang a light. You know, they don't care. You know.
Yeah, but they know you still know in your head. You know what it's like watching bad stand up or good stand up. You know what it is in your head. You're like, that's not good.
Fair enough. I will say that like I don't think they knew it. I don't think they thought it was bad when they did the first original series. I'm sure there
No,
was
they
like
just thought it was camp. They at that time. That idea of exaggeration to the point of comedic effect was a very normal thing. Like with the original Batman series, it was a different direction that the artistic style took. Art goes up and down in different directions, whatever, and so on and so forth. Past repetition and blah blah blah. We all know that.
Okay.
It's just how
I
art.
just learned that.
wow.
Art works in cycles. So one person, let's just say, for example, in our generation, Julio Torres, Michael Che, and to throw out a good writer, Anna Dresden, right?
Sure.
These names, these people, they're forefronting this style of art now. People will either subconsciously or consciously recreate their form of art, right? And they'll follow that. And they create a subgenre. Either they're going to push forward with the genre they do, or they push it in a little bit different direction so they get more notice. Like the same way with Robert Rodriguez almost is very close to a Tarantino.
Right.
It's a subgenre of a Tarantino. Exactly. He wishes, fine, fair enough. But you still create an art form that's in the style of that one person, whether or not you're influenced consciously or subconsciously.
Like all those bands that came after the Beatles.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yes. And some people are so good that they were like, okay, that's fine. You could be a subgenre of this thing. And some people are just copycats and you get whatever's left over.
Right. Because before, like,
and eventually the audience, just like you, when we listen to a song 50 times, you will go, all right, this sucks now. You hear 50 forms of the same joke, you kind of go, this is no longer fun.
Sure. You'll play it out.
Exactly.
Like when you hear the same song on the radio.
Same thing with art. It's the same thing with art. It's just how it works.
Well, because
it's not
before
a big
Star
deal.
Trek, all the space stuff was like basically just fantasy on another planet, ray guns and like these little things. And then these people put like a structure to it that was.
They
more,
also mentioned racial undertones. They did things that were different. It was a
very
different
political.
thing.
Do you? So you like the original series with the like rubber masks? Do you ever go back and watch it?
I do from time to time. I watch certain episodes. It's like they're not the best, you know. But it's like it's more the idea of it that's a good.
How were you affected by the buttons?
It was just funny.
He didn't push that one last time.
I was more of a sci-fi fan when it came to Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, shit like that. That's always been my thing as a little kid because it's a sense of morality. That's what I liked about these episodes is morality that came behind it.
Are you watching that new show Maniac?
No, what's that one about?
It's the one with Jonah Hill
Is that
and
on Netflix?
Emma Stone.
I can't afford that. That's why I'm not watching that.
What? Who pays
But
for everyone's sharing a Netflix
know,
account?
I fucking whatever. I'm sharing a Hulu account with somebody, so I'm popping Hulu like crazy.
Yeah,
No.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, this show. Okay, so the new show Star Trek Discovery is on CBS All Access.
I don't like this.
Who
this
the
shouldn't.
fuck? They're splintering it off. It all
Look,
it does is
Deep
encourage-
Space Nine. It should have stopped at Picard and Deep Space Nine. That's
Really?
it.
You don't
That's-
like the movie remakes? You don't?
No,
like...
the remakes are great. Like the movie remakes, everything like that. That's amazing because they put production into that. They put good actors. And Chris, what's his face, did a great fucking job.
Chris Pine. You
Chris
like?
Pine.
Yeah, he's a good.
He did a genuine good job.
I really
as
like
an
Star
actor.
Trek Beyond. The last one that just came
you
out.
like- really? Did
I
you
really
like
dug
it?
it. I like all that
I
stuff.
wasn't crazy about it, but I could watch it.
There's a Beastie Boys song in Star Trek at some point. Like it was bonkers to me. But at that point, like, because I'm a big in a movie if they just set it up and they live in their own world, like they're like, oh, this is the truth of this world, and they stick to it, I'm fine with it. So it takes place like in the future of now. So of course the Beastie Boys existed. And
It just doesn't click.
there had to have been, but then it was like found on an ancient ship.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
God.
Like all that stuff. There was a motorcycle in it. There was a dirt bike. I loved it.
Well, the
I
same
was-
thing with the movies. There was like someone had a motorcycle. I was like, oh, that's an ancient thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like we collect fucking car, but no one's driving around in a 1910 coal-powered fucking car now.
No.
Like, they could have sold it like if Spock walked on and was like, oh, I like
No
this
one in their mind would drive a car that's 100 years old because not just because it can't be driven, because it might be, because you're stupid. You're running down the engine. You're running down
Right.
the car.
But it's also Star Trek where they could just point a thing at it and then it's fully repaired again.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's people that still like own Model Ts now.
Yeah, but they don't really drive them.
No, they're showpieces.
They'd be stupid
We
to
need
do it.
the Star Trek technology to fix it so that we can cruise around. Imagine if you could just drive around with it, or like just like press a button and you're wearing whatever you want. You look however you want. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I mean?
that the idea of that society was fun, but like realistically, I don't know if human beings can reach that kind of level because if you think about it,
No, the world's going to end in 15 years, something like that.
oh,
You think we'll
stop.
get
climate-
one of those like the food, hot, the
The
If
tea.
you had-
tea hot.
Not to get weird, but if you had all your needs met, not just sexually, but let's just say, all right, shut up, you creeps.
Well, that
Just
changes
think of it like this: food, water. If you had your resources met to keep you alive,
Yeah.
and you had no purpose, you would have to develop or adapt. The point of the Star Trek thing in the universe that the fault is people are forgetting that there are poor people that are dumb.
Yeah.
That's what you're forgetting. So in that universe, everyone is very intelligent. So the part that they didn't really show is the genocide that happened or the deaths
shit.
that happened to all the poor dumb people.
So this is-
because
you're-
poor dumb
a
people
dark
have
universe.
to die out. It is a dark universe.
Whoa.
Poor dumb people have to die out in order for the smart people. Because even amongst the smart people, there are a little bit of dumb people. But like they're not. They're still smart. It's just smart compared to other smart people. It's like Stephen Hawking versus a fucking
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Exactly, same
Sure.
thing. Neil deGrasse Tyson's a fucking idiot compared to Hawking, but in that universe, they're all fucking brilliant. There's no dumb people
So you're
there.
saying at a certain point in the future, there's like a scientific overthrow of dumb people?
If you get rid of all the basic needs, you're going to lose farmers. You lose people who
Ooh.
have to work
It
power
starts with
plants.
witch shaming.
It starts with witch shaming?
It's not. Yeah, that's how. If you think about
what
it,
we're
even
going through
now,
now.
like
Yeah.
even now, look at the basic demands of AI. AI plans to change this moment right now. This is us living right now. 40% of jobs are meant to be lost in the next 20 years because of AI.
So you think
I don't think I know.
Wait,
This is something that will
but
be
I'm
happening.
talking- in terms of Star Trek, that world is like becoming more and more fictionalized. Like it's going to be harder and harder to get to that ideal.
No, I'm saying it the opposite. If anything, I think that world is a possibility. I don't think it's going to be a clean cut, though.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be a dirty.
I never thought
death
about it
match.
that
They'll
way.
always have your Ferengi.
Think of China, how they have most of their rank and file, uneducated, basic slave labor, just making stuff. But if they have AI, which is coming forward,
Right.
they're going to have robots. That slave labor is going to have nowhere to go. Only the military, and they have nowhere to go but to expand outward. Same thing with us. Our labor force. Look at the coal industry. All those local towns are dying
This
right
got
now.
too real for me. Real. This is
It's a
very.
very-
This is so real.
No, it's a very good. If you look at that, Star Trek is a perfect example of this. There had to have been a dark genocide, which I think in the movie, in one of the movies they covered, where there was a nuclear war. That's
Right.
how they. That's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
they
yeah.
wiped out the poor dumb people.
So you're saying we could go either Star Trek if the smart people win, or like Mad Max if the dumb people win.
No, if the dumb people win, it's all out war with tyrants. If the smart people win, we'll just have mass deaths from genocides. Because either way, it's not going to go well for
Yeah.
either of us,
No, I
unless
feel-
we
This
cap
is a
out right
shiny,
here.
happy.
In the Mad Max show, it's like the smartest of the dumb people will be leading the Mad Max world.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's the thing that they're still
But
dumb.
the dumb people will stay on the planet.
Yeah, exactly,
Whereas,
alive.
like, the smart
Yeah, but
ones are
we
like,
talk about
wow.
stupid like it's someone else. We're all stupid.
We are all
None of us are
stupid, yes.
physicists. None of us are doctors. It's a thing of it like
I'm
that. You're not
I'm
even
the
listening. If
closest to
you're
a
listening
doctor.
to this right
Yeah,
now,
technically.
I'm gonna say this right now. I'm 100% sure if you're listening to this and shit went down, you're gonna be killed. I'm gonna
Wow.
be killed.
I know I'm dead.
Don't be afraid.
I
It's
know,
not
I
a
know.
big deal. It just says so that means that much more that this current present situation, the way you spend your money, is that much more important.
Have you ever heard the theory that the Flintstones and the Jetsons were
Are the
happening at
exact
the
same
same
society.
time?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that the Jetsons are the smart people and the Flintstones are the
Yeah, but
dumb
that
people,
goes
and
back
they
to the-
reestablished society as
that
cavemen?
that goes back to the idea of the time machine, where it becomes between the two societies, where like one is super genius and one, because technology
Right,
made them so
yeah.
simple, they were dumb.
I just like the idea that I'll eventually have a bird that plays my records for me. Like
It's
just
not-
like bink.
Don't be. It's not a. It's just how big deal. It's just how it is. Things are going. But we the people. Had we really think about it, you have the real control. You don't have to shop at places that have AI. You don't have to shop at places like Walmart. You're the one that control your dollars. Blockbuster is the best example of that. Blockbuster fucking charge you rental fees. Blockbuster charges you overdue fees. Hold on.
Where are
I
you
know
going?
it's
I'm
weird.
curious. No,
Just
I'm
listen.
curious. I'm curious.
The company went bankrupt because Netflix came around that gave you a better option.
Sure.
You chose Netflix over Blockbuster, even though Blockbuster was abusive, would ruin your credit, shit like that. Because you did that, us, the people, decided that we changed the market.
Sure.
Even though Blockbuster was a powerhouse, just like Walmart, all the rich people, they can all crumble so long as you choose where to go.
Fair enough. I mean, you know more about the financial stuff. You're a money guy, so you know that the money will eventually
It's not
win
forget
out.
money. Forget money. It's more about will.
Oh, okay.
Each person has will. Money's your will.
Man, this
right?
turned into a rally real quick. Like
It's
this
not
is
a rally, but that's how.
I'm with you. I totally.
The
I
Star
agree
Trek
with you. But
universe
I'm-
kind of works in the sense of will.
Yeah.
Because you're lost the idea of money, right? According in this universe, there's no money anymore. All that's
that's
left over
true.
is scientific thought. Because people try to strive to the best scientific thought they can, because there's no needs left. You got to be smart, but to transfer into that, people have to die. You have to get rid of dumb people. There are no janitors left.
Oh
There's
man.
no janitors.
Yeah.
There's no civil servants. There's no government workers. You don't have a middle class job anymore. You have to be the very best. And in order to do that, the middle class and poor class has to die. And
So
that's
you're
something.
saying that Trump is trying to get us to the smart future?
No, I think if anything, Trump is. No, I think if anything, Trump
I
is
did
trying to
say-
stay
yeah.
in power. No, it's not.
The people with money aren't money. Don't have money because they're
No,
smart.
it's
They have money
not.
because they're ruthless.
Exactly. That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
But that's an evolutionary factor as well.
Fair enough.
It's morality and ethics as well, obviously.
Where would you go in the holodeck?
Profit.
Did we stop talking about real shit for a second? I'm sorry.
I just tried to. Yeah, I just tried to find some levity in this.
I'm trying to galvanize the people listening to this, all 40 of you.
We have dozen of listeners. We're ready to. We're ready
They
to
opened
go.
up like 3 or 4 tabs.
Yeah.
They're looking up mad shit right now.
They're hitting us up.
Well, in a holodeck, where would I go? I don't know. I would honestly, if I could, if it had a memory remembering thing, I'd pretty
Oh,
much
you would
have
go
it.
back into your memories? That's cool.
I would have every sexual encounter I ever had ever again. but I'd fucking knock it out, baby. I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't be like,
Do
no.
over, do over.
I wouldn't
Would
be
you
like,
start with like the worst, or just go like kind
no. I'd start from the beginning to the fucking last.
If you had to be like, let's say, hey, we've invented a teleporter, but they want to try it out on you, would you volunteer to be the first human to be teleported? Granted, let's say they've teleported other living things and they survive, and then they're like, we want to send a person through.
I'd do it.
You do it just to be that
Why
person?
not? Fuck it.
Yeah, well, fuck it. Why
You
not?
might
Yeah.
get real cancer or whatever, most likely.
You come
but,
out as like one giant tumor or whatever.
Yeah,
You're like,
who
we
gives
got to
a
fix
shit?
some things.
But it's still cool to be like, oh shit, you were the first teleported person.
Have you seen? Okay, there's the idea that you can teleport stuff technically.
No, there's
I
no
don't-
way. You're supposed to have the energy mass of a certain thing. Like it's
what it
physically
does
speaking.
is that it recreates the matter in the arrangement somewhere else. So what it does is that it'll align up all the atoms that you are with the same shit everywhere. Some like theoretically they could literally just clone you in another place by rearranging the atoms and creating another version of you.
yeah, but that's not.
It's not the same. But would that be you on the other side?
I don't exactly. That's
Philosophy,
creepy.
baby.
Ooh.
Would you still jump on board if Jordy just got the eye surgery?
What?
What?
Like he had the visor for the longest, then they gave him the contacts.
Fix the mic.
You know, like he had the visor for the longest time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Then
They gave him.
switched to
That's
the
right. They gave him
contacts.
contacts.
Like if that.
I
Was
like the
day
visor
that-
better on him. To be
Yeah,
honest,
like,
I thought it was
wouldn't trust
cooler.
him as much. It's like, I
To be
gotta
honest
wait.
with you, when I see him on both shows as a kid on Star Trek and on Reading Rainbow, I'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
My
It was
brain
super
always
quick.
like I was a little kid. I was like, "Oh my god, he's doing two things."
Yeah, it's really confusing when you learn what an actor is as a
Yeah,
kid.
it's like it fucks with your head. You're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're lied to me this whole time, bro."
Yeah. What this show based in a spaceship in the future is a ship of lies. Yeah.
Full of dreams.
Danny, would you like to promote anything before you go to?
Yeah, my show at the Creek in the Cave is actually on Saturday. If you want to come by, it's
That's
8
right.
o'clock. Yeah, you
What's
gonna
it- wait,
post that by then?
What's the name of the show?
Instatacular.
Instatacular. That's right. Ladies and
Bye.
gentlemen, a round of applause for Daniel J. Parafan. This is coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Shane Gale. What's up? The space noises. Space noises. That takes a lot longer to get into than you.
Man, it's whatever.
Space, the final frontier, baby.
Hi. Maybe
That's a good question.
re-ask it, Daniel. Do black people what?
Do black people watch Star Trek? Is that something that happens?
Nah.
Did you not? You weren't a Star Trek fan growing up, Shane?
I knew about the dude with the wrinkles on his forehead. That was
Worf.
cool.
There's one black dude on there and shit.
Yeah.
There was Geordie LaForge and Worf. One of them was a black guy. The other one had to be an alien species.
Yeah, it's Worf. Kunta Kinte had cool sunglasses. That was cool.
Wait, what? Is that?
I thought his name was Toby. Terrible.
No need for that.
There was no need.
I'm sorry.
What was
Hey,
the,
Shay, I apologize for my friend over here. I
Yeah.
don't know what's
Thank
going
you.
what was your exposure to it? Star Trek. You knew about Next Generation, right?
Yeah, that was the main thing when I was a kid. It was Data,
yeah.
the weird forehead man, LeVar Burton with the weird sunglasses. Patrick Stewart, he's cool. Yeah, he's great.
He's looked the same for decades.
He's like he's got that Steve Martin disease. I've just been 50 since 1972.
Oh my god!
Yes,
How
that's
does Steve
true.
Martin look like he was fucking
That's
50
insane.
since he was,
But he's still 50 now.
when he was
like
18, he's wearing
Yeah.
white and he looked 50 forever.
That's just his look.
yeah, it's brilliant.
So, did you know that in this new show, Jean-Luc Picard is coming back?
Oh shit!
There's gonna be something.
Comeback.
He's reprising a role, the role of
Maybe
Jean-Luc.
he's admiral or something.
No, the show takes place
no
before
longer
the
Captain
original series.
General Jean-Luc Picard.
He's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of these time jumpy things, or it's gonna be one of these like parallel
Is there going to
dimension.
be like a young
that.
Patrick Stewart? It's just some like 20-year-old bald man.
It's gonna be like
Just
in-
like a Jonas brother who's willing to buzz cut his head. Like, that's not exciting.
like Yeah, like Professor James McAvoy and Professor X.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's definitely gonna be. He's definitely gonna do it again. I don't know if they.
That'd be cool.
I don't know if they're gonna young him up like they do Michael Douglas and Ant-Man, like they did that in Marvel.
Wait, they CGI his face? I didn't know that.
Who?
Michael Douglas.
If you saw Ant-Man at the beginning of Ant-Man, he looks like young Ant-Man, and they did it to Michelle Pfeiffer in the new one.
Oh,
They made him look young, and they've done it a couple times, like where they did it. They're gonna do it in Captain Marvel with Samuel L. Jackson. They make him young, give him his eye back.
I don't know. He looked good the way he was.
I mean, it also takes place in the past, so
That's true.
yeah. What did you like space? Would you have gone to space? Did you dig it?
I'd go to space, yeah. It's such a weird hypothetical. Would you go to space? Like, would space take me? Probably not. I don't know. Do I have the credit score for space? Probably not.
Well, we just had a whole in-depth conversation about how at a certain point all of us will have died for Star Trek to have happened because you had to get rid of all the dumb people.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think Earth is like a real shithole because all of the smart people are often discovering other planets?
Oh, we're getting left behind for sure.
100%. There's no way, right? It makes sense.
Yeah, they're leaving us
There's
behind.
no way that to explore space, you need the most intelligent, the strongest, the physically able, and the most challenging people. You're just, from a species standpoint, you're not going to have the very, very best from a mass
Back
point.
on Earth.
I tried to make a playlist, like a music playlist. And it was just like I was trying to add like the numbers, and I was carrying the one, and I was just looking at all these numbers at the end of my playlist, like, oh, I'm getting left behind.
Yeah.
Space, the rapture, whatever. I'm just gonna burn on.
Every album has like a bunch of songs on it, and there's always one song like best. That's just us with people. That's it. That's a big difference.
So you think there should be a meritocracy, a 1% of smart people?
I feel like
think
I
it
should
should
be
be. I
able
think
to
that's what it
earn
will
my
be.
way back to space.
What?
I should be able to earn my way to space.
Like if you do a certain amount of like community service.
Oh,
or
that'd be
something.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, or like have a space like a Olympics or like a raffle. or
A
something.
raffle. Okay, so you win the lottery.
Or we could fight to the death. I'll fight somebody to the death.
Would you call it like if they told you could go to? There's a Japanese dude, a billionaire, who's going to be the first Elon Musk SpaceX tourist to Mars.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's putting money down, and
Well,
he's
that's the thing. He's putting his money down.
yes,
In there.
and he's taking people with him.
I'm not moving anywhere without brown people for starters.
Without what?
Without brown people,
black
yeah.
and brown people. Listen, there's like in America,
Some Asians count, I think. I don't know what
some
it is.
Asians, but it has to be like a significant portion of the population ain't white. It gotta be.
You want
Like
black
in
space.
America, there's like 5 cities that I could actually like live in and not feel tortured. It's like it's going to space. It's America with like thinner air. Like it's America plus asthma. I don't want
Can you
this.
imagine if only white people colonize Mars?
Right.
It becomes like
That's
a
kind of
Not
what's
even
gonna
like-
happen. Yeah.
It's not even like the white people that I'm comfortable with, like a meathead from Long Island who
No,
like
no.
I love the Knicks, Patrick
No.
Ewing, bro. Like
It's gonna be one of those like educated. I'm a liberal white guy, whichever is racist. secretly.
some Yale dude who thinks he's woke.
it's
Fuck
fucking
you,
secretly
nigga.
racist as
No.
Yeah, to be fair, there is an element of like elite, like the you're watching like the elite.
Yeah, I'm
I would
not.
have loved to
I'm
have-
not elite. I like the dirt.
Okay, so you would stay back while all the people exploring space.
Or like if we go to Mars and it's just all just renegade, like we cowboys on Mars, that'd be dope.
Oh, so like it's you call it like the Wild West.
Yeah, it's the Wild West.
Just
like
put your flag down?
Saloons and shit. Draw like we shooting laser beams. Like we just fucking flipping laser beams out our hip.
For those of you
at the holster.
not watching this on the podcast, he did a very flip turn gun thing.
Flipping
Quick
laser
draw.
beams out
Quick
the
draw.
hip
Yeah.
holsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic low slung on the hip.
Take
pull, yeah.
10 steps, draw,
Just
and then you
imagine
just
that.
boom.
He's doing that right now with his fingers. too.
That's laser beam shoot. Yeah.
Wow.
He's pretending to have lasers. I don't know what's going on at this podcast.
Who knows?
I'm available for voice work.
You're the next.
No, it's good. I like it.
You're the
All
next
four of
Michael
you
Winslow.
listening to this right now. It's just, I hope you enjoy
It's
it.
at least a
It's
dozen.
thank you. Put some respect on it.
How many,
Put some respect
how
on-
many dollars do you guys get?
More than you'd think.
Really?
Yeah.
you don't know what I think.
Yeah.
I don't think anything. I'm brain dead.
What would you? What piece of Star Trek technology would you want?
What's the piece of technology that makes you be able to just marry Zoe Saldana? That'd be cool.
It's called having a big dick. That's the one.
I got that. No, what?
Who's she married to in real life?
Just like some like European model man.
He's-
Just like
yeah.
some.
She's gonna leave.
He is
some
a beautiful
guest,
man.
Just some guest model with
but
like big
celebrities
blonde
always
hair.
leave. They divorce like in a year.
Zoe Saldana's fucking like a rich man. She just has like a blonde bimbo as her husband.
Oh my God.
It's beautiful. God bless her. Good for her.
Wouldn't you
If
want to
only.
get yelled at by Zoe
Yeah.
Saldana?
Oh.
Like you're out with her and she just screams.
No,
at you
that's
because
my
you're being an
fetish,
idiot?
actually. That's my fetish. Stomp on me. What?
Whoa! Hey, man, everybody's got their thing. We don't kink shame here at Unsung
That's
Heroes.
right. Stay
We
woke.
don't? Oh, it's in the kink shame.
Stay
Yeah,
woke.
we didn't. So you want to? Would you want the? What the fuck is it? The one that the guy from Deep Space Nine that can change his appearance. He's like an alien race, a changeling.
Yeah,
That he could
I'd
change
love to
his
be a
appearance.
Changeling, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, Shane, what race would you be if you weren't, Asian?
But wasn't Asian?
Shut up. The podcast
Listen, man, I feel
Yeah,
like
the listeners
actually, listen, I don't have a joke for this. I feel like being a light-skinned black dude, I'm like as pretty close to neutral as you can be. I'm chaos neutral, as you call it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Do you think at that point, like, do you think it accurately reflects the mixing of the races hundreds of years into the future, where
Yeah.
everyone's just like a mix of everything?
Oh yeah. Like there are light-skinned black people who, like, if they buzz their hair, you're like, he could be Arab, he could be Italian, who knows what that person is. Like, it's great. I want to be just like a cross between The Rock and Vin Diesel. I want to be in Fast and the Furious is what I'm saying. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Honestly, I can make that happen, baby.
I didn't mean to laugh at that so hard. So you're in the holodeck? You know the holodeck that you can be wherever you want, and
Right.
and you could just change it. Would it literally just be with Zoe Saldana somewhere, or would you go like
She's
to see
beautiful.
something cool?
And she's from Queens. I love her. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Queens represent.
Zoe, if you're listening, I love you. I love
What
you.
if she is, yo? What can happen?
I love you.
Did you love her in Drumline?
Oh yeah, that's where I saw her.
She was
So
the
hot.
shit in that.
She was in
Stop that.
Drumline.
She's the best.
sexy. It's beautiful.
Centers? Yeah, she was in a bunch
Beautiful,
of stuff.
Beautiful woman.
Fucking
Well,
amazing.
we're going to start a spin-off Zoe Saldana podcast after this
please.
episode.
Zoe, I love you.
If Zoe Saldana would like to follow you on Twitter or
Zoe,
Instagram.
listen, leave. I'll be your side man. I don't care. I'm not too proud to beg. I'm the center of the universe on Instagram. Narcissist Shane on Twitter. I'm at Creek of the Cave next Friday, the 19th.
That's right.
Platform in Brooklyn, the October 20th. Catch me. I'm doing jokes and
Those
stuff.
are legit plugs.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Shane Gale. Coming up next, give it up for Elvis motherfucking Duran.
I made it. He made it.
Yes, sir.
He
You're in it.
made it.
You're in,
Oh, awesome.
brother. How
Now
are
you
you?
gotta school me. You gotta school me a little bit on the Star Trek.
We're talking about Star Trek. Are you a Star Trek fan? Did you watch it?
Like I didn't, watch the show. I know some episodes or two. I watched the flicks from 1 through 4 or 5.
4, where they go back in time and find a whale.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, that was like whatever. I dug it. Like
That
it
was
was a
one of the-
lost in translation kind of flick. With the Star Trekkies and the 70 hippie people or whatever,
still-
San Francisco and shit.
Yeah, I still do There's a scene in that movie where Scotty is talking to the computer through a mouse.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Hello, computer." I still do that. Like,
Yeah,
I will say "Hello,
It's-
computer"
nah,
to my
it's
phone.
Funny. No, it's cool. Like they all styled out. They look fresh to death when they're walking down the streets or the boulevards,
That's
looking
right.
mad 70s when they had to transform their fashion and look like they're regular people.
And-
but they're from the future, but they get here because that's what they do. They show up to planets, they go to places, and they adapt to the culture.
They show
Sort of.
or like cause terrible turmoil.
Yeah, like because of they took some dude from that planet that needed to stay there, or else the fucking planet explodes.
There was an episode on the original series where it was an entire planet populated by a race of people that were split down the middle, black on one side, white on the other. And
What does that
the
mean?
people who were black on the left hated the people who were black on the right,
Oh,
and
no.
vice versa.
What does
and they
that
were literally the
mean?
same thing.
What is
Yeah.
the meaning of this?
Yeah. What message
What
could they have
planet
been
is
trying?
this?
Yeah. What message could they have been trying to send? Where
like my neighborhood. I think I missed that one. But no, wait, is that still part of the Spock one? No, that's not the
This
one.
is-
That's
that was on the show,
That
like,
was on the
way
show.
back.
Yeah, that's why I missed it. But
that was when they had like tribbles. There was like a dog wearing a fucking like fur coat, and they were like, "It's an alien species."
what? Missed that one. But my favorite one was the Rathakan. Rathakan. And oh man, that was the best, man. Come on, the speech he gives. I don't know it word for word, but the speech he gives
When
when he's just so diehard about getting Kurt.
Do the speech.
Oh,
what
I
is
know
it?
is just like all I know is just that he says something like this. I will never stop till the ends of the earth and the moons and the stars, James E. Kirk. Some shit he says. But it's
wanna find
great.
it.
Like you gotta lock that whole like script down, like and like act it out. Whoever I dare anybody, because that's like one of the freshest scenes. It's so dope.
I'm trying
and
to
he means
find-
business when he's
Are you
saying
a fan
that.
It was
of
when
the
he's
old
dying,
school
right?
Star Trek?
Yeah, well, just the flicks, the first two.
Well, Shatner.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Earlier today, I was at an old man bar, which I'm usually at if you want to find me. I'm always at an old man bar.
Word.
You know, anywhere in the four boroughs. But I was right after I played Neil Diamond, "Love on the Rocks," because I'm such a drunk, right? And freaking what is it? Well, now I lost it. Where I was trying to say that was related to Star Trek. Oh no,
Shatner.
That's
Old
right.
school Star
So I
Trek,
threw on the Shatner spoken word common people shit. You know that song?
Yes.
Oh my God. Like I had that whole bar just going, is this William Shatner? Like, oh my God. Like, you know?
When he sings Rocket Man.
Oh, great
Yeah.
song. I do it every now and then at an old man bar. I'll throw William Shatner on, pow, throw on track. And it sounds great. Because there ain't that many people at the bar and no one's complaining.
What old man bar? I gotta go to this old man bar. This is great.
Yeah, I just came from the Ready Penny Inn
What's
in
your favorite old man
Jackson.
bar? We gotta go there and like. Time
Oh, I got
travel.
Blarney's on Jamaica Avenue. I just came from Ready Penny and on 73rd Street in Jackson Heights, close to 37.
This is
and
real
Roosevelt.
inside baseball New York shit.
Roosevelt.
We're
There's
gonna
also-
do this
if
and
you-
watch like a
Oh, if you really want to
Star
get fucked
Trek.
up, show up the El Scorpion. Like the Scorpion Kid. Yo, it's the classic joint. It's like bunch of sad ass men, two little hotties, you know what I'm saying? They're just like everything's out and they just like
For those listening at home, the two little hotties are in
two
his
little
hand.
hotties, yo, but I think like for like $40 you get the little bottle. Like a little bottle of aguardiente.
Yes.
Like a little Colombian shit, like aguardiente.
Yes, sir.
Which in Colombia, in Medellin, which I went in 2005, they were like guaro, aguardiente. And you just sipped off the cup. But that's not what they do at this bar. So the little hottie shows up.
I wish this was a video podcast.
Yeah, the little hottie shows up and she's like, Plash, drops the bottle. We're taking shots, little chippies. Everybody's throwing awesome sad songs and shit. It's fucking groovy. Some Guns N' Roses, back to some Latino old school mom cleaning on Saturday, Sunday morning.
What's
shit.
What's the music? What's the music?
One of them, I don't know if you guys, well, like a Julio Iglesias track or some shit.
Sing it.
You know, or like Moonlight Lady is one of my favorite ones. Moonlight Lady, come along with
the
me.
only thing that can make this better is outer space.
Yes.
Back to outer space, man.
So that's the thing. I in Star Trek, every one of those fucking spaceships had a bar. Like they just
Yeah.
literally would.
Yeah, which is great. I'm
just-
still glad there's bars in the future and in
So you
space.
gotta get fucked up. It doesn't matter where you're at.
And there's always serving like
Yo, for
weird
real.
glowing blue liquid and glowing green
whatever,
booze or
like
whatever.
some crack shit, some wicked shit, some plasma shit.
And they're all some plasma
Yeah, some
shit.
whatever shit, you know, and it's just
Shots
like,
of
here,
plasma.
drink up, and it's like, oh, okay.
wanna
And it
try-
always looks like it's kind of steaming a little or like boiling. Or
Of
some
course.
shit. It's always boiling. It's always like purple,
Just
green,
bubbles,
blue,
indiscriminate
boiling shit.
bubbles.
Yeah. And it always has like at least like one worm like just swimming or like drink up, drink up, drink up.
I will say that the I can't tell you
A
how
little
much I'm
shot in
enjoying
my
this right
quack.
now.
Right, tonight, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to apologize, but I'm apologizing. You know, I'm a little shoddy my quack tonight, Agent Shoddy my quack.
It's all it's brilliant. It's all brilliant.
You can do whatever you want. We got plenty of time to kill. What is your what piece of Star Trek technology would you want?
You know, I love the classic.
Teleport? You want to be
the
able to
teleport?
teleport?
Oh, come
Oh, no,
on!
but
You
you're
kidding me?
you're
Be
touching
like,
the badge.
Elvis.
Yeah, like tap a button.
Be like,
and then you can
Elvis, I'm pregnant. Oh shit, bitch.
No.
You want to be able to like
I'm out.
blue line and be
I'm
like,
out of here.
we going to Florida. Fuck this.
Fuck out of here. No, sorry, I'm really not that kind of guy.
No.
It's
a
just a
nice guy,
character.
this
It's just a
guy.
character.
Yeah,
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, nice to see you. Oh, it's so
I
nice
just
to
love
see
the
you.
idea that there's somebody on the ship that's like Elvis's oh shit she's pregnant escape hatch like you get back because it's not like you disappear
Like
you go to
Scarlet.
a spaceship where the guy's gonna be like did you impregnate another alien woman
Oh
Elvis
man, that'd be some shit, dude.
to be fair William Shatner did fuck a lot
But
of alien
I
ladies
did get a fortune
Mexicans.
that says, you know, like something like, the sun will find you. Turns out I had a 7-year-old.
fucking A Elvis jeez
Hey, there's nobody here, right? Just us. I could do that.
It's
I
just
could
us.
do that. I could
When you're
do that.
amongst friends.
Take a listen, people.
what
At a fraternity test.
where would you go into space like if you knew you couldn't come back like you get on that spaceship
Or
you're
you
like
trying to be on that shuttle, the space station.
Damn,
You can't
and
come
what,
back,
like,
you live there.
and just like float till I find
No,
something,
you're
or
there now.
I know
Like, you're
there's an
out-
Earth
you're-
2 or
you're
something.
part of the new world.
Yeah.
in
Oh my
space.
God, it was so trying to be like cool influence styles, like community influence styles. You know,
you would be a politician
not exactly. I don't even know what the fuck I would be, man. I'd just be a dude like
The
that's
most
mad cool.
entertaining
And
man
if
in the
anybody
new
wants to
world.
fucking talk to me, you come talk to me and say, "Yo, Elvis, what do I do? Show me the way." I'm like, really, I don't know. But if you
So-
feel like doing that, go do that. Like regular shit on Earth One.
so you would want to
I know what it is. You're the Shakespeare of the new world.
Oh, that
Oh.
would be-
Creating new words.
Whatever, I'll take it. It'll be
entertaining.
awesome because then it's like, man,
Innovation.
I got more love and props in this new world than I did in the old world. You know,
Yeah.
forget about it.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
take it. I'll
Poppin'
take
and
it.
lockin'.
Any of those things and becomes the culture of popping and locking.
I imagine you running the old man bar on like Deep Space
I
Nine.
would love it. I'd be so proud. I'd be like,
Yeah.
so what you want, buddy? What's it gonna be, buddy? What's it
Yeah.
gonna be, huh? Like he stood me
There's like
up.
a stool
Whatever
at the
it
end
is.
of the bar. Someone tries to.
I
Hey,
mean-
that's Bob Host's
And I
Ghost
would,
Bar.
and I wouldn't,
You know,
and I wouldn't judge anybody. Like whatever you are, you show up. You got problems, I'll listen. As long as it's a quiet bar and you're the only custody, you know. Like I'll clean up.
Like,
Yeah,
you
like,
remind me-
like,
Always
yeah.
polishing the
Yeah,
glass.
and I got the
Every-
awesome
every
awesome
bartender's
buffon,
always
got the
cleaning
awesome
some shit.
pushback. Got the awesome fucking like Frank Stallone pushback. Sylvester Stallone's brother.
Frank
You know, like
Stallone, yeah.
wow. You know what I'm saying? Like yo. That would be gold.
What?
Yeah.
Where would
And
you?
if I like you, I'll give you a couple of shots.
So I'm loving this
Oh,
world
that
that we've
purple steamy
established.
shit.
You would be Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh my God!
You would be the
what
Whoopi
have I
Goldberg.
become?
Ain't no Mount High.
The
What
M-
have I become?
You'd be Whoopi Goldberg from Sister Act, of course. Living
Okay,
in
that's cool. Yeah, again, influential.
what would be
With no social media
if you could be any of
influence.
the if you could be any of the races that the aliens from Star Trek, which one would you be?
Choose wisely.
Damn, I know. I'm trying to. Not for nothing, and no disrespect. I know we're in weird times. We're always in weird times. But I don't know. You know, this is the one time in that world in the state track. No, and guys, don't judge me. Ladies, don't judge me. But I think I'd be a hottie, one of those hotties, just like nobody can get.
What
nobody can get. Nobody can get.
Like
Whether I'm half cyborg or
racial-
was a cyborg.
racially
and-
ambiguous hottie. is what you're saying.
One of those or any of those, just like a kind of hottie, poing, doing, whatever, voluptuous, but nobody gets it. Nobody gets it, kid.
Yeah.
I sell all the sex, but nobody gets it.
With a nice,
Some kind of like hottie.
With a nice
Because there's
tan.
always like that hottie sort of in the Star Trek world.
You would be the Jessica Rabbit of this place, like you
Yeah,
just.
kind of like, you
With
can't
the
get
tan,
this. You can't touch this. Can't touch this.
with a good tan. You're like, is she
Yeah, with
Russian?
a pretty
Is she
good
Sudanese?
tan.
Like, what is she?
I like how I asked for an alien race,
Yeah.
and you're like hot chick.
And I work in the weapon department. Like I work with the weapons. You know what I'm saying?
You want a bazooka
I'm a hottie
as a
that makes
left arm?
awesome like machinery and fucking guns and stuff.
Okay.
And I introduce it to the dudes that are gonna go explore and shit.
Let's recap. You
Like,
want
whoa,
to
what
be.
a hottie. Yeah, be like, yo, this is this XI2 9000. This shit goes through metal and everything.
So let's start. You will be a hot woman of an ambiguous alien race
yeah.
with a tan.
Yeah.
You will be the Shakespeare of this generation as you work behind a bar with old men.
Oh my God, that is. We win. I
Hold
know
on.
I did.
And then also you will be running guns
Yeah.
under the radar
That was
of
my
Captain.
Yeah, I guess so. Still a bartender, running guns and everything else.
So you would just be an organized crime boss.
Well, for the cause of the rebellion or anything
The
that I
mic's off.
think
The
is
mic's
in the cause of fighting against anybody that's fucking shit up and hating and shit like
Yeah,
that.
we're creating the next Star Trek spinoff.
Yeah, like you gotta stop that shit. I told you already 3 times. You gotta stop that shit, or I'm gonna fucking blast you.
I'm not
At least
a
you
fan
got a
of-
chance, right?
I'm not a fan of the
least
accent
you got
you've
a
chosen,
chance.
but okay.
At least you got a chance. At least you got a chance. I told you.
Okay. Okay.
And then when I'm behind the bar, Frank Stallone. Hey, how can I help you?
So we've established
How can I help you? Yeah, how can I help you?
the first Star Trek blaxploitation movie.
Sorry, guys, I'm wilding out. I had a couple of drinks.
Elvis.
I'm not using it as a crutch.
This is the ultimate. Yeah. This is the ultimate story that needs to be told. Hollywood, if you're listening,
I'm just I'm just a poor boy.
yeah. What would you like to?
I'm a tragedy.
What would you like to promote before you go?
Oh man, Creek in the Cave, Unsung Heroes, and everybody here. You know,
the Creek
what's
and the
up?
Cave in
Mike,
Long Island City, Queens.
Jane, Eric,
Man.
Toby, homegirl, what's up?
Southside.
You know what I'm
Ladies and
saying?
gentlemen, give it up
Everybody,
for
you know what I'm
Elvis,
saying?
Dr. Ray.
I made it on time.
Is your friend on? Does she want to come on?
Awesome.
Do you want to come on?
Stuff.
Wait, I was gonna do Toby first, and then I'm gonna bring you on a close. Ladies and gentlemen, Toby Nelson.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hello! Hey guys, it's me.
Hey.
Biggest disappointment, you know.
What? No.
Oh, it's from In the Heights,
From In the Heights.
Yeah.
Well,
but also true.
okay, so
Is your mic working, Elvis? Oh,
you're good.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't scare. You're scaring
Elvis,
Davos.
stop fucking barking into the microphone.
Yeah.
Turn it off when you do
I
that.
know. I think it is too. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I have so many notes.
You do. All right,
Obviously.
let's start with your notes.
Well, so I thought that you had to be either a Star Trek or a Star Wars person when I was younger. So I was very Star Wars, you know.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I am a Star Wars person as well.
Yeah,
I was not as a Trekkie as
Yeah.
some of my friends were.
But they show if anyone else has insomnia, they show a lot of Next Generation late at night.
Yeah, I very clearly remember having super late nights of.
So that's so 4 or 5 in the morning, even through like 6 a.m. I think sometimes they'll play it.
It was either that, and then all of a sudden, like I knew I was up way too late when it would go from like Star Trek to infomercials, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta,
right.
I gotta go to sleep.
Well, that's what it used to. That's what it used to be for me when it would switch from Seinfeld to Friends.
What to Friends?
Yeah, there's one channel that showed Seinfeld at 3 and 3:30, and then
In the morning?
Yeah, and then started Friends at 4, and 4 was the time where it was like, oh,
I think that's the line. If when you go from three is still last night, 4 is tomorrow morning.
There's something about the
Right?
the change between the visual change between 3 and 4. Also, I think
Because I've had those nights where like you're out late and all of a sudden you're driving home as the sun's coming up and nothing makes sense. Like everything
it's
is
gross.
either goofy, funny, or you're crying. There's no in between. Like
Sober October.
Yeah.
I love it, but it's not the greatest.
I don't love it at all. It gives me very bad anxiety.
For a long time, but I'm not proud of it. But yeah, I hear you.
But Next Generation is my Star Trek.
That's
You're
your
talking-
you're
yeah,
a-
that's
you're a
that's
Picard
mine
girl.
for sure. Yeah, Data's my favorite character.
Data.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Data.
Brett
He's such a great weirdo.
I will say up until this point, the lack of Riker mentions is
Is it really surprising to you? Riker is
really.
very. Yeah.
he's the first.
He
whatever
doesn't.
it is.
He doesn't have the charisma of a Shatner, but he does have like the rapiness. You know,
Riker is rapey to you?
Yeah.
I've
I saw
Really?
more like Second Command. And
No, I think
He's sort of stoned,
I don't know
like
something
sexy.
about
He
him.
was number one.
I think maybe just something about him makes me think that he's a rapist. That's possible.
wow,
You know?
that's weird.
Yeah.
But Data's
He can
cool.
get ya.
I like Data. Yeah. Also, I used to love this. I mean, I still do. I guess this singer called Voltaire.
Voltaire?
He's this like goth comedy singer. Oh wow, interesting.
Wow, Toby.
I know. I'm very about
Goth comedy singer.
Yeah.
What?
It's me.
Yeah, literally.
I love you, Voltaire. Cool.
Could not be more on brand.
I know. No, seriously, that's so funny. And he
Are you
has
just
a song,
realizing that now?
Yes, I am. And he has a song called "The Sexy Data Tango." He's got a whole album of Star Trek songs that he's written.
Really?
Yeah, but "The Sexy Data Tango" is very funny, and so I was already primed to like Data. It's basically about like why don't people fuck Data all the time?
He's a robot. He's got to be a fuck robot at some level, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
he?
mean,
Fuck?
I'm
He
su-
has to have hooked up with
Well,
some.
my favorite episode is the one where he has like a family, he, like lives out. You remember that? That's the Wild West one, right?
Oh,
where he
it
like
was the
lives
holodeck
out
one
like
for
a
sure.
whole like lifetime.
Because he's trying to learn how to be
How
human.
to be human,
have emotions
yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I always loved it, and in the movies later on, like in the
I have never seen any of the old movies.
well, this is like the next gen movies when they came out, like Star Trek
I've-
Generations, or they gave him an emotion chip.
Oh, okay.
Remember, and then he has like outbursts of emotion as he's trying to like.
I love
learn.
it. I
Yeah.
love Data.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's actually like. I loved him in Independence Day because he's also the crazy doctor in that too.
Oh my God, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that.
Where he's-
Does that
I'll-
hold up?
100%.
Does it? Okay,
kind of.
good.
I think so.
Maybe.
I know. Andrea and I are big fans of the Page 7 podcast. I know that Jackie rewatches it every year for sure.
They did it here
Jackie
a couple
Zabrowski, we
years
love
where
you.
they like on 4th of July they would show Independence Day, or they would watch like turn the TVs on because
Yeah.
some network
They probably
shows.
used to watch it here. They used to be here.
Yeah.
Page 7.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I would. There, look, it doesn't hold up. You know, like it's not. You know,
Well, I mean, for what it is.
it's pretty
know.
good. It's a fun watch. Do you have? So you were a data person. Let's go to your notes.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
you-
for sure. So the new, I really liked the new movie, the first one. The
Yes.
second one I wasn't as nuts about, and I didn't bother with the other. But I
The
really,
second one was not that good.
yeah, when I worked at the Arlington Cinema Draft House back home, we had that movie for a while, and it went very well. That's definitely a movie that people want to come and like drink and get food and see. And I have a humongous crush that'll never ever be requited on Zachary Quinto.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
You know, like if he was straight, it would be requited. You know, like
Yeah, I was gonna- that's a double whammy because
Yeah.
he's famous and unattainable
Yeah.
in that sense.
Also, I wanted
gay.
to say Zoe Saldana is my like first gay crush.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not a bad. That's
well,
not
like,
a bad.
besides Veronica Lodge from the Archie comics.
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about the Veronica from Riverdale.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
thought I got gay last week.
Yeah,
Adriana's
I was like,
different.
This is a new development. Who didn't have a crush on those Betty and Veronica? That was always like,
Ew, Betty, boring.
excuse me, she knew how to fix the jalopy.
No, I mean
She
Betty.
was-
Betty's okay on the show.
I think I like Betty a lot on the show. She's what's her
Yeah.
name? Lily Reinhardt. She's
Really
beautiful,
right.
man.
She
She's
is.
amazing.
She's a really good actress. She can like with her face, especially like she can do really minute things with her face that are very impressive.
I'm
to
not
me.
ashamed to say that. That Riverdale's great.
It came back yesterday.
I have to catch up. I
haven't seen the new episode yet. Yes. Gina Gershon is going to be playing Jughead's mom.
Yeah, that's right.
Jughead's
Jughead
dad
is
is the biker gang guy.
Yes, yeah,
and so
yeah.
Jughead's mom is a biker gang lady?
Yes.
Or, oh, okay.
And so there's gonna obviously be some kind of thing between her and Alice, because Alice Cooper, different Alice Cooper, Betty's mom, played by Mad Shinamik from fucking Twin Peaks. She and F.P. Jones, who's Jughead's dad, are about to rekindle their
I will give you
sexual
$10 right
relationship.
now if you can connect all of this to Star Trek.
Sure, I bet I can do that.
We'll do 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with Star Trek.
Okay, with
If you can tie this all around, I have $10 in my or whatever I have in my pocket. I think it's $10.
Okay, so does it have to be the TV show, or I mean, or can it be
Just
the movie?
rescue us back to the topic of the show.
Okay, don't make me do this on stage, because it'll take me a minute to think about it.
Well, go to your notes. Let's go to your notes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to.
Riverdale's awesome, et cetera, et
Yes,
cetera.
I will do it though, in probably only 3. I'll say 3.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
She's doubling down. Damn.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay. Did you guys? I love Maniac a lot.
Oh,
you
yeah.
mentioned it earlier.
I have to start watching. Everyone's
it's
telling me
so
it's
good. I have one more episode left.
I've seen a few of the episodes, yeah.
I have one more left. Emma Stone is probably secretly the best actress under 40.
No, she's actually. I liked her. There was
She's phenomenal.
There's a scene in La La Land where she's auditioning.
I don't care for La La Land.
I'm not talking about the movie itself, but there's a scene where she's auditioning for a part in the movie. Like she's at an audition.
Is it the one where she sings the song?
No,
Because that's
no,
the
no.
only song I don't that I like from the movie.
No. She's literally giving a straight acting audition, and I was like, "Yo, this is really good." And then it's making fun of it because then someone knocks on the window and interrupts this incredibly dramatic moment.
Yes, I remember that.
She's fucking good. I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn, that's really good."
Have you seen Birdman, right?
Yes.
She's great in Birdman.
Yeah, I
God,
love
Birdman is one of my favorite movies.
It's one of
like-
those that I forget that I love.
You forget
I see
how
it-
good it is.
I see it in
how
the
good
queue.
Edward Norton is in
Yes.
it. Oh my god.
Yeah, because and also, yeah, it's just a great movie.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Let's keep going.
But I want to say that I love Maniac, and that what I also really love, my favorite Black Mirror episode is USS Callister.
Is that the one that's the space?
That is-
That's the
that
Star
is
Trek
great.
one.
That is the Star Trek
Wow, that was so
spoof.
fantastic.
It's so.
I
Oh my
haven't
god!
seen it.
You have okay. Honestly, it's a really good episode to start someone on Black Mirror with, because it addresses everything that the show addresses, but it's not too dark.
It's not okay.
Like, it's definitely dark, but it's not like,
that's what I was
there
about
are
to
some
say.
episodes of Black Mirror, like White Bear, will ruin your week.
Yeah,
You know,
the one
like-
episode I saw of Black Mirror was the first one,
Yeah,
and it
the
was
pig-
the
that
guy
one's-
fucking a pig.
It's not. That's. I would never start some of them with that one, because it's not one of the best episodes, and the pig fucking is very off-putting.
Yes, you
You
can
know.
go out on a limb and say that watching that it was very off-putting.
Yeah.
I'll do you one better.
I think
What
that's
you're
pretty.
talking about with the Black Mirror, that first episode of what season?
Season
four,
3 or 4. 4. You're right. It was season 4.
Fantastic. If you
There-
haven't seen
Oh,
it, Mike,
it's
you
so
gotta
good.
I gotta
check
see
it
it.
out.
And it's-
So
and it's,
good.
you know,
And it's
the
such a great build up to all the way
Yeah,
throughout
it's
the story.
I'll do you one better.
So good.
I started watching Black Mirror because I was with my girlfriend at the time when people were talking about when it came out, and we were like, there was the first time I was over at her place, and we were start like making out. You put something on in the background.
Oh my god!
And someone was like, "You should just put on Black." Like someone has, "Oh, this show's supposed to be good," because she had Netflix on her laptop, and I was
Sure,
like,
yeah.
"Click," and I turned it on, and we're like making out, and then all of a sudden there's like a lady crying because she was kidnapped. right? The princess gets kidnapped, and we were all just kind of like, "Ooh, this is off-putting," and we skipped ahead, and then we were like,
skipped ahead to the pig
It was-
fucking.
it landed. You couldn't have timed it better than like if it was edited, but it landed right at the scene where the guy's like, "You have to like the demands of the crazy person was like you have to fuck a pig on that
Yes.
on this thing."
Yes.
I was like.
On live television, they tried to CGI it. They tried to get a different person.
Yeah.
And he knew all the different things that they were were trying.
Needless to say, struck out that night. Did not go the way I would have wanted it to go because we were just all watching.
Same with him. Remember the very end of it where his wife.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
is
disgusted by him.
Yeah, she can't look at him anymore.
I didn't watch any more Black Mirror after that. I was like, yeah, this show ruined.
Definitely watch Callister. I don't want to reveal too much about it, but it's definitely a Star Trek homage, and it's starring Meth Damon. You know, Jesse Plemons. I wish I made that up. It's Jesse Plemons and I really want to say the gal from Chewing Gum. I don't remember her name.
I don't know that,
but she's Yeah, Michaela from Chewing Gum, and she was also in the newest Star Wars movie. Or not the newest one, but the
Solo.
the real one, not Solo.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of inspired by.
Oh yeah, and Liam McPoyle / William from Westworld also is in it, and he's great in it.
Oh wow, yeah. They get some big name fucking people.
It's so good.
Speaking of inspired by Star Trek, the fact that nobody's brought up Galaxy Quest.
Oh, she's going to.
Forget it. Then we'll hold off.
Save it, man.
But the Futurama episode, I just rewatched it.
Of which one?
The Star Trek Futurama episode.
Okay.
I
don't know.
I thought you were like earlier when I was talking about it. I wasn't just saying. I mean, obviously, Zap Brannigan is supposed to be Shatner. Like
Yes,
that's
100%.
that's extremely overt. But there is an episode of Futurama where they have to go and rescue the heads. You know, in Futurama, everyone famous is
the
like a
heads in a
head.
jar.
They have to go rescue the heads of the cast of the first series from this like obsessive fan who makes them act out his like scripts. He like has them like imprisoned on his planet and makes them act out his like horrible scripts that are like,
that's right.
Yeah, and like Uhura's like you are hot, Kirk, but you're definitely not as hot as whatever the guy the
so
alien's
funny.
name is.
Like holding her hostage. Anything else? Anything else you got on the thing?
I wanted to address the rude insinuation that we have only 15 listeners.
There's more than you think.
Yes, we have a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
And don't listen and think that you're only one of 15 people.
No,
Dozens of us.
there's dozens.
I mean, there's over 100 for sure. More than that.
Not to toot my own horn, but we're in the tens of thousands. So,
are you?
Yeah.
I was like, there's 100 per episode at least. We're in the tens of thousands.
Funny,
Yeah.
you never
So
shared that with us.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because
he's so
Love you,
humble,
mean it.
he'll
Love
never
you, mean
brag.
it.
But we're yeah.
yeah.
Plus, I've got a lot of friends who listen to it. My parents listen to it.
I should put an asterisk on there. Tens of thousands total.
Oh, total.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're up to tens of thousands.
Of listen.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. That makes sense.
What? Where? Yeah,
I didn't think he meant weekly.
No, it is funny to see the numbers like when people listen because I can see like the jumps per day.
I need to ask you how to do that. Actually,
it's weird, but it's always funny to see like why for no reason, like even if like I don't post it or you don't post it or something like that, all of a sudden there'll be like a few hundred in like one day that is like a random Tuesday. It's like why the fuck are people
I wonder
downloading
about
now?
that too. Listeners, I am on an admin on the Facebook page, so like I'll wonder about that also.
I don't understand it, and that's why I still haven't figured out how to get advertisers on here. I just don't know how the numbers work. When people ask me the numbers, they're like, no, not those numbers. I'm like, which numbers? I don't know how to podcast, whatever. This is not the point of the show. Do you think there's podcasts in Star Trek? No. What? Let's talk about the tech. What would you want? What piece of Star Trek tech would you want?
I would also want the beam me up because I don't like flying.
Oh, so you just want to like?
I guess I'm gonna be on a spaceship regardless, but
It's different.
yeah, like when you're on when you're on like the Battlestar Galactica, it's different from like being in one of like the fighters.
It's like the difference between being in a rowboat and being in a cruise ship. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
sure. Although
yeah.
I'd rather be in a rowboat. I fucking love kayaking.
Well, my analogy has fallen apart, Toby. You got me.
Arms get tight.
Yeah, no, that's probably what it would be. I can't really think of anything else that I'd prefer. Although I would love to hang out in a holodeck. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, that is cheating. Kind of the holodeck is kind of cheating because you can
Yeah.
have anything and
Sure.
be anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be fun. I've had more than 2 sexual experiences, so I don't need to revisit them in the holodeck.
That was funny.
Well, it's Andrea made the joke first to me.
Oh, stop stealing your new friend's jokes. Toby, have you been able to link Riverdale with Star Trek
No,
in
'cause
any way?
I have to actually think about it. I'll think about it during
okay.
hers.
Yeah. So let's.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Toby. Is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
Yeah, absolutely. My podcast started from Degrassi. Now we hear
right.
the return, hopefully, of Gather Around the Punch Bowl. You remember how long it took us to actually do it? We'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be
And
back.
I was supportive
Soon
every
you'll
time.
see.
I believed you every time.
I know. Well, it happened eventually,
Yeah.
and starting this Saturday night at 11:15-ish, I am going to be hosting karaoke at the Creek in the Cave.
That's right.
Every Saturday night. Davos is like, "What's going on? What's going on?" He's terrified. So they have Elise host an open mic at 9:30.
And then
right after the mic, there isn't much that happens down in the basement, and if there's not a big show upstairs, a lot of people will just leave and go, and some go to karaoke elsewhere. What? That's insane. Stay here.
Let's just do it here.
Stay here.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yes,
job. I'm with you.
I think it's going to be really
Here
fun.
at
Yeah,
the Creek in the
Here at the Creek in the
Cave.
Cave
Yeah,
in Long
man.
Island City.
Karaoke, baby.
That's right, baby. Ladies and
Karaoke,
gentlemen, a round of
baby.
applause for Toby Nelson.
Excellent.
Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen,
Gunpla Gossip.
Andrea. Hello.
Also, Gunpla Gossip. Join us for the shirt.
Oh yeah, join Gunpla Gossip. Thank you, Elvis. All right. Andrea, this is your first time here.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. We got a newbie. What did you think this was going to be, and how wrong were you?
I thought I was going to be watching other people do things and not actually participate myself.
But guess what? You are now.
I'm here.
You're here.
Well, she was afraid that
It's on.
she was afraid that it was like an open mic, like she was gonna.
And I was going to murder Toby.
Like I was signing her up to do jokes.
No.
Yeah.
This is me living out talk show host fantasies. What is your Star Trek?
Well, okay, so I grew up on Next Generation because,
Oh, yes.
watching that was with my... I watched that with my dad. It was one of the things I, would do in the hopes of him forgetting that I wasn't a boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do think I'm going to put this a little bit closer. I'm
Yeah.
going to do the. I will say that Star Trek feels like a dad thing that was
Definitely,
shared.
yeah.
It's like handed down because I know one of my friends. Like that's how he bonded with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Was like, come here, watch Star Trek with me, and he's just like, all right, 'Cause
Exactly.
It was, spaceships and lasers and things like that.
yeah.
And but yeah, did you have a character on the show that you were like, that's me?
Well, I don't know if it was like that's me, but I guess so. Like I definitely both related to and was attracted to Deanna.
Of course.
Yeah,
Who isn't
it's one of those
attracted
things
to
that,
Deanna Troi?
like you go back, in your memory, and you're like, oh, that's why I felt, funny in my pants.
Yeah.
And I didn't
You had
know.
an experience.
Yeah.
It's weird, like what triggers that.
Mm-hmm,
like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm a man now. Like, oh, this is interesting.
Ooh.
She was there, and I remember in the first season. There's that whole thing about. She speaks at these conventions now. Like she'll go out and
Really?
she'll do like these, like they all do. Like they started this whole world of conventions with
Right,
Star Trek.
yeah.
So she goes and she's like super funny, and she'll be giving this whole or like telling stories about stuff. And she does this whole story about there's a green dress that she was in, and I think that was like the start of adult things with me because it was like this really like low cut dress. It was like crazy, and she was
She's
super
like
hot.
not in the super gender
was
neutral outfit.
She was not, and she also had like the one that was like gray, or it was like different. Remember, she wasn't like crew. She wasn't like a.
That's true. What did she do? I forget what she actually did.
She was a counselor, Counselor Troy. So she
So
was
just bullshit.
She was like the high school guidance counselor of the Starship Enterprise. Yeah.
They just needed a pretty lady.
You'd think that like a progressive show like Star Trek would be like, yeah, I don't know, but we still need to. This is still television, guys. Come on, still Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you have? Wait. So are you in the Hollywood? What is the
page 7?
In the Gunflame Gossip Group?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So you're all up in the okay. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is
We're page 7 fans. We're guns.
Guns
Love you,
and
Jackie
Guns.
Zabrowski.
are there now? Now that you're up here with Toby, so you're with you got a buddy here to back this up. But Toby always drops some horrifying knowledge about someone I love.
And I'm here for it.
Oh, I haven't done it yet, which is that I love Patrick Stewart. I forgot to say this. I love Patrick Stewart.
Don't you dare say anything bad about him.
Yes.
But he's best friends with Ian McKellen, and I'm worried about Ian McKellen's closeness to Bryan Singer. And some pictures I've seen of Ian McKellen with young
Boys.
kids that I know that Bryan Singer has touched.
No.
Ooh, boy.
So, but I love Patrick Stewart, and I love him on American Dad.
Yeah, I
I love
forget that.
American Dad.
I always forget that.
There's
He's on there.
always something is ruined for me, and I'm crushed every time. What? So tell me about Galaxy Quest. All right.
I mean,
what are your thoughts on this amazing movie?
I mean, you got Sigourney Weaver in like top peak like hotness.
Yeah, peak Sigourney. That she.
I mean, whew.
In terms of performance, like I'll always love
And she's
Aliens and
hilarious,
stuff like
too.
that. But that was where she's all about science fiction. She's
Yeah.
all about like doing nerd things, and
She's in Ghostbusters, for fuck's sake.
she's
Like,
up for everything.
yeah.
Like she's the best, and she should be a million times. She's already super famous, but she should be like Meryl Streep legend status for
She should have
sci-fi.
a bunch of
and for-
Oscars and
Yeah.
statues.
Sigourney
Yeah,
Weaver,
yeah.
She's.
I'll watch anything she's in.
100%. If I see her in anything, I'm like, I'll give it. I'll give it a shot.
Right.
If it's nerdy and whatever, then I'll like it for that, or it'll just be really good. You know, like she was in Paul, that alien movie with it's like Seth Rogen does the voice of the
She's
alien.
like mean. She's,
she's
a
a
bad
villain.
guy. Yeah.
I'm all about it. Galaxy Quest is what for a long time was the best Star Trek movie.
It really was, and it holds up. At least in my family, like that's like one of those family movies that where if it's on, we're all
Yes.
watching it.
That's one of we used to the remote droppers where all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
flipping through channels, which
Like,
nobody does
that's
anymore.
what I'm doing for the next hour and a half.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, this is it. And someone's like, hey, you're supposed to be somewhere a half hour ago. I was like, no, Galaxy Quest.
Sorry.
And people are like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You made
exactly.
the right call. Do you have a piece of Star Trek tech that you want, that you feel that you could
Toby
use?
kind of said what I was going to say, which is like, I'm just a lazy bitch and I hate flying. I hate driving. I just want to get there. I just want to be there. Just like no efforts.
Do you think that would then, like, if that was real, that would like change the way everybody does everything? You know what I mean? Like, you could be sitting on the couch and just reach through a teleporter into your fridge and grab shit out. You would never have to like move.
And then we'd be like those fat people in
WALL-E.
WALL-E. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's everybody's goal is to just be the fat people from WALL-E.
I have it in 6 degrees.
You did it?
I can do it in 3 for sure, but I have it in 6 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So we start.
Make sure that.
I can do it in differently in 7.
So from Riverdale to Star Trek. Here we go.
From Riverdale to Star Trek. We have Skeet Ulrich.
Oh,
plays
yes.
FP, okay. He was in Scream with Drew Barrymore. I knew Drew Barrymore was going to be my linchpin here. All right. Drew Barrymore is in Santa Clarita Diet with Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion was in Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Vlog with Neil Patrick Harris. Neil Patrick Harris was in Assassins on Broadway with Dennis O'Hare. Dennis O'Hare was in the first season of American Horror Story with Zachary Quinto!
Wow.
What?
I feel like that was more than 6.
That
was
feels
it 6?
like more than
was
6.
that 6?
But I will say, Broadway. Are we counting Broadway?
Does it have to be movies?
I think with the Kevin Bacon rule, it's that it has to be a movie. Because technically, I'm like
we're
1
doing
degree from
TV.
Kevin Bacon because I was on TV with like.
But in the Kevin Bacon game, it has to be movies, right?
Right.
But we're talking about a TV show. Bets are up.
All right.
I'll do it in 3 for sure. But
what's the 3?
No. I am saying if I have more time, I'll do it.
Oh,
in
fine.
3. But I knew Drew Barrymore was going to be my girl here.
Toby Nelson has won $10. Right? Oh, $5.
Did you say all the money in my wallet? Was that?
Yeah, that was it. I thought it was 10, but it turns out I am broker than I thought.
All right, I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah.
That's a very Toby way to get there through the musical theater.
Yeah, you totally snuck in.
So
And I
on brand.
used a web series also. I
Yeah.
used and a movie and TV.
All
I used
bets
it
are
all.
off.
Yeah.
All bets are off.
Oh, and the streaming series.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea.
Sorry, I know that's like the Carolyn's.
I'll respond to anything that starts and ends with A.
Close enough. Alexa, will you be watching the new movies? No, do you? Okay, so you get to go to space.
Yeah.
Right? You've won the lottery that Shane was talking about. And you get to go and you get to be part of the crew. What job do you want? And what alien race would you like to be in this particular situation?
Okay, so like I said before, I'm very lazy.
Okay.
I don't want to like fight or anything like that. Can I just be a breeder?
Okay. You just want to just like keep
Just repopulate.
You just want to be the repopulator.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You want to
Just
give birth? Again, they're probably hard.
Just like a few, yeah.
well,
I just
yeah,
sit
now
there
it's
and
not
be
starting to sound so
pregnant.
bad, is it? We're like, hey, wait a minute.
Oh no, mine no one needs these days.
Someone has to do it.
They never talk about it, but Dr. Crusher had what's his name? Will Wheaton's character, Wesley.
Rest in peace, Anton Yelchin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea that she had a kid, and they were called generation ships, where you would bring your families. So like there were families on there,
Right? Yeah, they're
Captain
colonizers.
Sisko had a son. I know too much about Star Trek. Jesus Christ, I'm like drawing family trees and shit. So you just want to be out there popping out babies?
Yeah, sure. Just
Would you work
stick
at-
it in me and stick it out, you know.
Would you work at Elvis's bar and as like the old man bar with the two little?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll just be, you know, also drawing glasses.
Okay, yeah, just wiping them down. Do you want? What was the other question?
Oh, the race.
Yeah. What would you be an alien? I think changeling
What's
is change.
Worf? I want people to be afraid of me too.
Oh, so you want it to be like a death by snoo situation when you mate with these people? Or just want to be a giant Klingon woman?
Yeah, Klingon. Yeah.
Have you seen Star Trek Discovery, the new show?
No, because I'm not paying CBS more money.
For real?
Yeah.
It's a great show, but the Klingons on that show look like fucking monsters. Like it's not just a forehead
Oh,
makeup
it's not like
thing.
a fin.
They look like legit aliens, and they're not speaking English. They're speaking like Klingon and shit.
yeah.
And it's like, man, that show's great, but nobody can see it because nobody's paying CBS for CBS All Access.
Yeah, I mean, they have such shitty programming. Like they can't just move Magnum PI to the streaming
who's
thing.
watching Magnum PI?
My parents.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, it's bad.
There's a target demographic. Are you?
And also wanted to mention Simon Pegg. Fucking Simon Pegg is in like the new Star Trek movies, which I adore him. I love him in anything he does.
Simon Pegg is the luckiest nerd in the world.
Oh my god, he's just living every nerd boy dream.
He is in Star Wars. He's Anker Plot. He's that
Yeah.
weird guy in the suit that's like 60 portions or whatever the fuck. He's in, which is a huge favorite of mine, the Mission Impossible series. He gets to hang out with crazy Tom
Yeah.
Cruise all the time and do like crazy stunts
And he
and
was
be
in
an
a
action
movie with
hero.
Gillian Anderson, who's Scully. So
Yes, he's and he's writing Star Trek. Like he's like in
Yeah.
he's Scotty and he's writing Star Trek. Like that guy, and he was in all the fucking Shaun of the Dead movies. Like he's got all
Hot
of the indie
Buzz,
cred.
all that stuff. Yeah,
Man. Yeah,
and,
that guy
and he
is-
just seems Chobi, don't tell me there's anything bad about Simon Pegg, please. Okay,
Ruined
good.
Simon Pegg.
Good.
We're in the clear for now. We're in the clear for now. Simon Pegg, under the radar.
All right. Good.
Yeah. Alyssa, is there anything you'd like to promote before you go? I know her name is Andrea.
Punch Bowl, gather around the Punch Bowl.
I thought you were just plugging Toby. Gather around the Punch Bowl.
And the Creek in the Cave. Thanks
The
for
Creek in
having
the
me.
Cave in Long Island City, Queens. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Andrea. Coming up next, and closing out the show, your friend and ours, Igor Martinez. I'm sorry, I just coughed in your hand. I'm so sorry. I did that wrong.
That's what you get for being the bad boy of podcasting.
That's
hey, Andrea,
right.
nice to meet you. I'm Igor.
Igor is
Nice to
here
meet
to call us nerds.
Fucking
He's here
nerds, baby.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Star Trek, huh? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Star Trek. Oh, what's happening?
Is that me? Whoa.
I don't know. I just turned everything down because of the feedback, but it should work. Igor, do you watch Star Trek?
No, I do not.
And if so, what is your Star Trek?
No, I don't. I do not. I did like the first of the new movies.
You saw it, the one with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto
and who was the first? Leonard
Nimoy.
Oh, he was,
Leonard-
and then it went to
Zachary Quinto. You're talking about Spock, right?
no, the other guy. Right, it was was it Shatner or Patrick Stewart first?
Shatner was first.
Shatner, then Patrick Stewart,
Yeah.
and now Chris. What an evolution of hotties, huh? My God.
I like how you laugh now, but like William Shatner was like a sexual
was.
icon.
He was a hunk.
Really handsome.
Yeah. But my God.
And it was
Chris
also like the
Pine.
'60s where people were like like you hear stories about now, and you think it's
Yeah.
like the '60s was bonkers behind the scenes when nobody knew what anybody was doing.
Right.
Like it was
man.
fucking terrible, crazy.
That
Like
must have been so much fun if you were famous or a celebrity. Like you could do anything. People just thought you were a god. Because they didn't know, like,
There's no Me Too.
yeah. Well, there was not that, but there was no Twitter for people like, oh, this guy's an idiot. Look what he just wrote. Like, look at my fucking.
There were no
French
Kanye's
toast.
back in the day.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, if you ever hear the stories of like Adam West and the Batman crew,
Right,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
school '60s Batman, literally like talk about like, yeah, we were all at an orgy and we were all fucking each
Right,
other,
yeah.
and it was almost like, or you hear the stories about like, oh man, what was it? Oh man, what's his name? It's
So Shatner was into kinky shit.
they all were. If you were in Hollywood, you just had access to any
Oh,
kinky,
my
like
God.
Richard Pryor, the Godfather. Who's the fucking Godfather?
Brandon Marlowe.
Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor like fucked back in the day. Like it was
man.
like free for all, baby. It was
Yeah.
There was no sexual orientation hangups.
I have it.
What
3 degrees of separation.
three?
I'm doing it. All
Okay.
right. Red from fucking Orange is the New Black was Captain Janeway, right?
Yes.
Okay. So she was on Orange is the New Black with the guy with porn stash, who
Right.
was a killer on motherfucking SVU.
Which is connected.
Everybody.
Yeah. So you can
Everyone
connect.
from Riverdale was on SVU. I did it in 3.
Yes, Toby Nelson, everybody.
Toby Nelson. Once again, proving she watches too much television.
What? So, what do you know of Star Trek? Like, you just know the movies, like, kind of culturally, what's up?
I mean, I know the Klingons. Like, there's Klingons a language. I know Spock. He's really smart, right?
He has no emotion. He's all about logic.
Oh,
He doesn't make
shit. I should get into that. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same thing that Data was. Like how he's technically a robot, but he's the same character basically.
Because Spock was half human, and he was fighting his emotional human side all the time. Data was a robot trying to learn how to be emotional. It's
Very
Igor,
interesting
I'm
stuff.
blowing your fucking mind right now.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like not that, but it's like
It's for nerds.
I'm always like, yeah, and then I have to like talk to somebody from a human race that I'm like, oh yeah, I still don't even understand what you going through. So what the fuck do I give a shit about a fictional Spock? You know what I mean?
Because it's a mirror up to society.
Blah, 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 blah.
What was your sci-fi thing?
Oh man, Galaxy Quest was my jam. You
Yes.
know who killed it in that? Who was like, it's just so funny, but was Alan Rickman.
Yes.
He
I
was
was gonna bring him up,
so funny.
I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, and he wasn't even like. I was like, is this guy trying to be funny? Because he's hilarious. And
He was crushing it. I never understood, like, Alan Rickman, like, he's done so many independent things that everybody knows. He's Snape and he's Die Hard. He's Hans Gruber.
Right.
But he's like, he was super funny. And when he died and everyone was talking about like how funny he was,
Yeah.
it made me so sad that he never just did like a goofy comedy. Or if he was like a straight man, and like, he would have been awesome in like a Naked Gun style.
Yeah. It's people like that you're like, that's talent. You know what I mean? Like that is fucking absolute talent. A
He
person
was great.
like that.
You want to know who else was awesome in Galaxy Quest? Sam Rockwell.
That's
That
right.
movie is fucking stacked with good
Yeah.
actors. Tony Shalhoub. Tony Shalhoub.
I was thinking that's who I was thinking of.
He was fucking.
Tim Allen wasn't awful.
Tim Allen was.
I think I like Tim Allen.
He
man.
was fine, but he
At the end of the
shined.
day, he's Buzz. So
Yeah. He shined with all of the crew. That the aliens, they were all fun. Even Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute. You can catch like super famous actors. That was like an intro to their like
Dwight
one of their early
Schrute.
roles.
Yeah, I didn't know
Justin
that.
Long.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
That movie's
Bing,
fantastic.
Justin Long and Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Man, what a hottie in that one. I mean, just overall. I was thinking, this is completely off track. Remember Heartbreakers with Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
As an old
I was like, Gene Hackman looks awful in that,
He
but
was
standing next to her, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you got to do, Sigourney.
I had forgotten about that movie. That was shot down in South Florida. It was shot down in
Yeah,
Key
yeah.
Largo in like one of the resorts there. And I know people who had like a thing who had like rental property there. They would go there in the winter. They had money but like I remember they were talking about like, yeah, we can't go because they're filming some movie and it was fucking Heartbreakers. And I remember watching and I love. And I have
We're talking about that. It's so underrated.
That's right.
I have such a like forever crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt. And it like that movie destroyed my brain for a while. Like I just couldn't.
Why? 'Cause she was a little slutty.
Yes, it broke my brain, and how she was like a bad guy. They were crooks, you know. And
But she had a heart at the end, as always.
Yeah,
she got a weird head, huh?
No, let's not nitpick a woman's body on this podcast, please.
Of course not. I mean,
she's a
still
beautiful person, an amazing actress.
Absolutely.
And then she did that show where she's a prostitute now, right? She does the show. She does a show where she's not Ghost Whisperer.
More like Ghost Hooker.
It was. They made a joke about. Oh man, what the fuck is it?
911 show now.
Oh right, she is in that 911 Client List. It was called the Client List. Yeah, I follow Jennifer Love Hewitt's career because I love her. But speaking
No
of
judgment.
of any of the Star Trek things, like or Galaxy Quest things, what technology from those shows would you want or movies would you want?
Well, absolutely. The teleportation shit that's retarded, man. That's never gonna happen, though, right?
No, not really.
It can't. You can't like break down mass, right, or matter, and then rebuild it.
I talked about it. I talked about it with Daniel J. Parafan, where they could rearrange the cells like a 3D printer. They could shoot your cells, but it would just be a copy of you. It wouldn't be you.
Your soul go?
Right.
Yeah, that's the question. Because then you would just
Alexis.
they would literally just print out your body, and then you would just go and just be dead.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no life to it.
Oh man.
Do you want to run that risk of
No, no. Just the laser then. Just the laser gun and just point at it. Shut up. Pew. That's crazy too. That stuff where like you could shoot at someone and they just turn it into particle dust. Oh man.
Oh, you want a disintegration?
Yeah, there
thing?
you go.
I'd like to live in a world where we could set our guns to stun instead of murder.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Cops. But ooh, that got really. I'm sorry. That came from my soul. Really. Yeah. Set your phasers to stun. We have non-lethal round. I don't get it.
What's that from?
What? Set phasers to stun? That's
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Set phasers
Really?
to love me.
Oh, did some did some punk rock band come up with that?
What?
Oh, I think there was a pair. I don't know.
What is
It's out of my element.
So you get a chance, you win a lottery, and you get a chance to be on one of these starships going off into space, but you kind of live there now. Like you're not coming back to Earth.
Hell yeah, hanging out in space and shit. Yeah.
What job would you want? And what alien race would you want to be?
Ooh, I would probably want.
It doesn't. I'm going to amend it. The alien race doesn't have to be from Star Trek. It could be any alien. Ever.
Oh, right. I'd like to do some kind of like maybe like a tester of the space food, you know? Because they never talk about the space food. It always looks like fucking mush and stuff. I'm like, we can do better than this. Can someone I'll help somebody come up with some better space food. Can we do that?
They have the replicator where you could like say what you wanted. That's why like Jean-Luc Picard was always like tea Earl Grey hot, you know, and then it would pop out like a little thing of tea.
Oh, remember in great sci-fi film, by the way, Fifth Element?
Yes.
When she puts the thing and it comes out a big chicken, she goes, chicken.
Yeah. Chicken.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
Love that movie. That movie.
That's a fucking...
Yeah. Now I'm imagining like what alien race. I'm just imagining the alien from the movie Aliens and just but just like a regular job.
Yeah,
like just in the uniform. Just in the uniform, like sitting there, like man, these dilithium crystals, man, I can't.
You get so mad. He's like, all right, dude, just relax.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he turns into the Predator, and then it's a different.
What race? Should do that, yo. That's funny as hell.
What would you want to be an alien? Or you gonna go straight human? You can be human.
What alien specifically? Yeah, I'd probably it's already hard enough figuring this shit out, you know. Or maybe that Spock guy. He's all logic and stuff with the no emotions. That's probably great.
I imagine that's got to feel comfortable, like fun for a minute to just not have emotions for a second.
Oh man,
I have like too many. So when I'm like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, that would be great to just be like live long and prosper and just like now I can sleep. Like great, awesome.
Oh, this set didn't go well. Now I'm gonna be able to sleep just fine. You know, you don't have to worry about keeping up at night. Yeah.
That's what how do we become sociopaths?
Yeah, that's the way. So what's the side of him that's all logic?
The Vulcan side is all logic, and then he's half human. His mom's human.
Oh, who's
played by Winona Ryder in the movie?
Oh, the human. The mom is a human.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's really because they're like their women's emotional depth is even deeper than men. So the emotions that he got from humans are even deeper than he would have if his dad was a human.
Well, I'm not going to argue eugenics with you on this.
I guess
not. Igor, is there anything you would like to promote before you go?
Nah, baby. Promote everybody you've heard on this podcast and Creek in the Cave always. Live comedy,
Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens. Ladies and gentlemen, Igor Martinez. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. What? Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's do it. Andrea, what do you got for me? This mic is way better than that mic. Yeah.
All right. So one time I did this really fucking nerdy thing and actually went and saw like a showing of Wrath of Khan, and there's a Q&A with Bill Shatner before it started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was telling all these kinds of old Hollywood stories, and one of them was really great. It was talking about the infamous kiss, you know,
with Uhura.
And apparently, like, the studio was like, I don't know, we should do this, you know, black people. And
you can quote. That's like a press release from
yeah. And so they were like, okay, well, we'll film one scene with the kiss and one scene without it. And so first they filmed the scene with the kiss, and then when they filmed it without it, Bill Shatner crossed his eyes.
Oh, so they couldn't
use it, so they had to use the kiss scene.
He's a hero.
He's a hero. He's a civil rights hero.
He's a civil rights hero.
So I thought that was like pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Like I can only imagine. Think about it imagine back then when it was the height of the civil rights movement, and then they're like, we need to figure out how to do this, like putting that out there, like the risk involved and all that stuff. I'm sure there were people pissed, like...
Oh, yeah. I'm sure people were like, I'm not going to watch Star Trek anymore. I'm going to burn my Nikes and all that stuff. Like,
were they? Yeah. Did they have the same kind of reaction? What?
Trump said he likes Taylor Swift 25% less after she
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah, go vote. Except for, did you hear the shit about Georgia that the guy literally in charge of the election is running in the election and he's a Republican?
Whoa.
It's super corrupt and crazy. We live in an alternate dark universe
the
right now. We
South.
live in the mirror universe.
You have questions?
Let's just do it. Fucking free for all. Whoever wants, just come on up. Whatever the fuck is happening.
Based off of what you just said, and Vulcans being so, non-emotional and
Logical.
Logical. Why go human?
Why go human?
Why did he hook up with a human?
I mean,
they ever
His-
touch on that?
Yeah, his dad was like curious about it, and he had.
there's no logic in the pussy game.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Trump's Vulcan logic.
That's how strong pussy is.
He's like, well,
There's so much power that this guy was like, I'm gonna fight every molecule in my genetic code. It was Winona Ryder.
You can't resist Winona Ryder.
Who can? It's
No.
it's impossible. But
the only other question that I had, sorry to interrupt, was like, do you think there was like, there was a point in the technology when what's this thing called?
the communicator.
The communicator, right? When they were like, oh, please hold.
Oh yeah, where they were like connecting
They
you
were
now,
trying-
and then you just have to stand there. Like it's literally being on speakerphone in the subway where there's like hold music playing, like ding 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 ding, and you're like, I'm sorry, it's taking a minute. The lines are busy to teleport.
Can you
I
hear
just
me?
want
Can
to
you hear
say I
me?
saw Galaxy Quest in the theaters. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm putting a stop to this right now. Andrea, thank you for that
Thank
story.
you.
Very, very good. Hold on. Let me get back to what I was doing. Hold on.
Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission.
I love you, Zoe Saldana. I love you too. Shane said it a bunch, but I also love you.
Seek out new life and new civilization.
Our Meredith Vieira is Zoe Saldana.
To boldly go.
To boldly go.
where no one has gone before.
It's the end of the show! That's right. You can hear this at Zeros on Heroes, zerosonheroes.com, all social media at Zeros on Heroes. Guys, the new episode of Zeros on Heroes drops on Monday, and it'll be all about Star Trek Discovery, interviews with the cast and the producers of the show. And you can follow me. Huh? Anthony Rapp, I talked to him and Wilson Cruz. They were very cool. Yeah, just do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Write us a review on iTunes, all that podcast shit. And thank you all for listening. I'm Mike Mercadal at Mike Mercadal on all social media. And you can find us. Well, I said all that already. Guys, remember to boldly go and be heroic.